Hey guys, it's Sean here from Microbudget Film Lab, and it's been a while. I've really missed you guys. It's been 3 months since I made one of these vlog posts. Over the summer, it was just totally bananas. You may have seen I did send out a notification that our film is now on Amazon in the United States, Germany, Japan, and the United Kingdom. So that was some exciting news I shared over the summer, but beyond that, it has just been totally insane. We sold our house in Canada and moved to Spain. I mean, we had been living here, but we relocated here permanently. So there was just a ton of stuff that we had to do. And it meant that I basically had to drop everything in order to get that done. It's just one of those things. And that's actually my welcome back into the world of the Microbudget Film Lab is kind of about that. It's about what do you do when you lose momentum, or when you have to set aside a project for a while, because it happens, and it's in the nature of micro-budget filmmaking. We're not rich, we're not, we don't have all kinds of resources at our disposal. If you're like me, besides having a job, you've got kids, you've got a spouse, you've got responsibilities and obligations, and sometimes it just happens that you get overwhelmed with those obligations. And that's what happened with me and with Microbudget Film Lab, and not just Microbudget Film Lab, but also my other film projects. I have a script I've been developing with another filmmaker here in Spain, and we just kind of let it drop over the summer because both of us were too occupied. Even my film, Fucking My Way Back Home, which we completed in June, I believe it was, the end of June, we completed the soundtrack for it, and we've been working on the mixture over the summer, but it's been incredibly delayed because we literally didn't have the 2 hours to sit down to review and provide notes to our audio mixer. So it just kind of sat. He would send us a cut and it would sit for weeks, and then it would go to him, and then he was on vacation, and it would, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And so now we've just sent it to our film editor to do the credits while we wait for the final, oh my God, I hope so, final audio cut. So it happens to everybody, no matter how motivated you are, no matter how dedicated you are, sometimes you're gonna fall off the rails. And so the first thing, I think, in terms of getting back on track, because this has happened to me before, many times with different projects, both film-related and non-film related, is that you can't punish yourself. Don't feel guilty. Guilt is the worst thing that you can feel. Know that you've got things you've got to deal with. You've got life intervenes. Life distracts you from living your life. So it's going to happen. Don't feel guilty about it. That's the first thing. But keep it in your mind that it's on your to-do list of things to do is to go back and do that new draft. Go back and begin that process of finding a DP. Go back and begin that process of storyboarding, or whatever it is, the stage that you're at, or your audio mix, or whatever. That it's going to wait, it's going to be there, and you're going to be able to come back to it. So make sure you put it on your list of things to do so that it's there when your time clears up a bit. And in the meantime, focus on getting done what you need to do. Focus is important in all aspects of life. And so focus on what it is you need to get done, whether that's personal or professional, and know that the film will be there when you come back to it. And then when you find the time, that can be the hardest part, is beginning the momentum. I'll tell you, I've been waiting. I could have done this probably weeks ago, but there's always been something. It's been, I'm trying to get back my routine back in my life. So I don't have time to do, one of these 5-minute vlog posts. And it's absurd, right? But it's just like that 5 minutes, it'll push me over the edge. I don't have my office yet. You can see I'm doing this vlog post in the living room of my new house. That was one of the things we had to do, is find a new place to live here in Spain. So I can't do it here. I don't want to do it in my house. It's ridiculous. Do you care that you can see this really terrible painting behind me that was left here by our landlord? No, you don't care. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Why would it bother you? You don't have to live with it. So this was, don't let yourself put up unnecessary obstacles when the time opens up for you to return to your project. Just do it. Even if it's not awesome, even if you see this video and you think this is not great, it's not the best piece of content you've ever put up, Sean. It doesn't matter. The important thing is that I did it, and now I've broken the inertia that's prevented me from doing this. And now I know that I'll be able to find the time, and I will make the time to do this on a regular basis. And we'll begin again to do things like interview filmmakers. There's a bunch of filmmakers I want to interview this season and talk to about their process and how they've gotten them made and so on. plus more content. You know, I've been in the background. I have been doing the Launchpad screenwriting program for micro-budget feature films with a bunch of different participants, and have been interacting with them over the course of the summer. Some, you know, doing some one-on-one consulting with people and helping them develop their script. So I have been doing stuff in the background, which is good. It's kind of kept my toe in this whole thing. But now I know that I'll be able to go take some of that material, some of what I've learned about the challenges facing micro-budget filmmakers at the screenwriting process and their concerns as they head towards pre-production and so on, and bring that material to you to help you out to solve some of those problems, because I'm learning from other people as much as I have experience to bring to the table. So that's the overall thing. If there's, you know, 3 things that I think you need to do when you find yourself overwhelmed with the non-filmmaking life that's rudely intervening, is 1, don't feel guilty, and don't make it harder to get done what you need to get done by overwhelming yourself with shame and guilt. It happens. You're not Steve Soderbergh. You're not, you know, any number of other film directors and filmmakers who are making, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars and can work at it professionally. Or even you're a filmmaker and you have to do weddings because it's wedding season, or you've got some, you know, commercials that you've got to do and so on. Don't feel guilty for that. But secondly, make sure that your project doesn't fall off your to-do list. Keep it on your to-do list, what you need to do next when your time opens up. And then when it does open up, don't make excuses. Don't create obstacles for yourself that prevent you from rebuilding momentum. That's just inertia. Those are not real obstacles usually. They're silly things like, I don't want to do this video in my living room because it doesn't look professional. Don't create unnecessary obstacles for yourself. And if you do those 3 things, then it will make it much easier to rebuild momentum for your project and to move forward. You know, there's just a quick story, and then I'll wrap up. There's a filmmaker named Josh Jordan who is from Texas, and he's shooting a movie right now. He's on like day 14 or something of his film called This World Won't Break, which you should check out on Facebook. They're trying to do this thing with Seed and Spark right now, this crowdfunding thing, and publicizing. It's a great story about country and Western music singer and what art means, and, you know, how you define yourself through your art and so on. It's a really cool concept. Check it out. But he had a problem where one of their leads actually was shot in the spring coming out of a bar. Like, talk about an obstacle that damages you right before they were going to go into pre-production. He had a bunch of obstacles come up, and yet he managed to keep it together and set a real start date, and through all those incredible hurdles has started to shoot the movie, and they're now on, as I say, about day 14 as I record this. So you can do it. Just don't let the world ruin your dreams, and those 3 suggestions I have will hopefully help you out. Now, next week, I want to, some people wrote to me and asked me about deliverables and the challenges we faced with deliverables on our first movie, A Brand New You, the one that's now up on Amazon, because it was a total nightmare. And so next week I'm going to talk to you a little bit about deliverables and what you can expect, and also relationships with a sales agent and some of our experiences with our sales agent, and what that means about how we're going to relate to our next film and what we do with our next film.